Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Magic and Miracles, where you learn how to be the magician of your life. My name is Anna, and I'm your most favorite manifestation coach. Anywhere under the sun, on the internet, you name it. Reason why? Because I coach one-on-one, and my coaching is unlike any other coaching anywhere on the internet. Go find another coach who spends this much time on each and every single client, and then maybe we can have a discussion, but you won't find such a coach anywhere. Like I said, I coach mainly in audio exchange as well as phone sessions. Now, let me explain the difference. The difference is that in the first package, which is Audio Unlimited package, it does include some phone calls. However, for the most part, we interact via audio exchange. You record an audio of 20-minute max. I analyze it, I transcribe it in my own way, and I reply with my own audio in response to what you just told me. It takes me about 2 hours per each audio. Usually because I really want to listen to it more than once and want to transcribe it in my own way, because everything is interesting to me, what you tell me. And the way I coach is that I go through everything starting childhood. So we start with childhood, adolescence, going into college years, all the way up until today. And the reason I do it this way is because I want to get to know you, every aspect that went into your belief systems, so that I can understand how to best help you. It's not because I'm nosy, it's because I genuinely care about helping people. Okay, and in the process of coaching, parenthesis here, I recommend 2 to 3 months in coaching with me for the full program for you to really start manifesting on purpose. And this is not such a long period of time. Some people have stayed longer with me because they felt they needed it, and I agreed. And so in the process of coaching, you start understanding why things happened the way that they did. You go from victimhood in some, cases, from struggling to understand why this even happened, to really putting the picture together with me. Okay, I really need to understand it so that I can show it to you the way I see it. I'm a very good mirror, is what I am. This is why I need all the information to map out your history and then show you my perspective on it. And yes, I'm allowed to give you my perspective and my opinion so that you start seeing certain things the way that they actually happened and how to really create something different in the future going forward. The other package is for somebody who really wants to be on the phone with me all the time, 2 to 3 times per week. Okay, we need to schedule a slot for you, like a time slot. This is an hour conversation that I record, and with your permission, of course. And but usually, it's just necessary for me, for posterity, to take notes after we hang up. I transcribe that hour conversation again in my own way, which is why the phone deluxe package is more money, because it's more involved. I spend a lot more time with you. I spend a lot more time on transcribing our conversation. And like I said, everything really does matter to me because I really want to map out your history as much as I can. It usually takes me about a month to really dive deep into your history, kind of situate mom and dad, siblings, this and that, first crush, la la la. And then we go into work on certain things like beliefs, forgiveness, this and that, which really helps you to relinquish a lot of the garbage, okay, that you're carrying with you today. And then I will proceed into doing manifestational work with you. I do not subscribe to the point of view of certain channels out there or certain coaches that hoopla, you're just starting to manifest without diving deep into your history and understanding what hasn't worked thus far. It just doesn't really work, okay? excuse the metaphor, but it's like putting a really delicious jar of jam on a pile of shit and expecting it to taste good. It just doesn't work. It's not going to work. It has never worked, and it will not work now, because this is why a lot of people are working around frustrated, and a lot of people are of those people are in my coaching saying, Anna, I was affirming, I was visualizing, I was doing this technique, I went to this seminar and that seminar, but you know what, I'm still not manifesting the way I want to. Well, this is why, because it takes a one-on-one coach to really dive deep into your history. And I really use the term dive deep here like several times for you to really like get the message. Like, I will record some audios for sale from my channel. But if you're really serious about doing this one-on-one, because there's only so much I can cover on my channel, there's only so much I can instruct for you to do in an audio you can purchase. But ultimately, if you're really serious about doing this, okay, you need to have a back and forth communication with somebody who's holding your hand throughout the process. There's no other way to do this. So if you'd like, no other best way to do this, I should say. So if you think you're getting like the most out of my channel, you're very much wrong. Like I said before, it takes really a one-on-one conversation, because like I said, there's only so much I can say here. I don't know you. I don't know your situation. Obviously, it needs to be that we have a one-on-one rapport. So if you need to book coaching with me, the links are below. If you have any questions beforehand, you can ask me via email. You can also book me for an hour, and we can have a conversation about what it is you need to work on, and for you to kind of get a sense of if I'm the right coach for you. Okay, but I'm assuming you already watched a few videos on my channel and you kind of know what you're getting into with me, the kind of personality I have and how direct I am. All right. I really work well with people who, and it's 99% of the people who ever came into my coaching who take my directness to heart and work on shit. I mean, I produce a lot of manifestational geniuses in my coaching if they let me, guide them. So it's not like they're not geniuses to begin with, but, and some of them are, further ahead than others, but in manifestational game. But truth be told, if you take my advice, you will excel. No question about it. All right. The subject of today is the power that you have over your SP is huge. Now, again, parenthesis here, I want to reinforce this. The reason I talk about SPs so much, and it's true, I didn't really want to talk about it because everybody was talking about it. But after seeing some shit that people were sending me from my coaching, I became a little bit enraged, to be told, truth be told. And I was like, I can't believe that people get away with like instructing people to do certain things and how they do it and how really uneducated that is. And so, yes, I do a lot of SP work. Now, here's why though, right? Most people don't get pissed off enough, okay, until it comes to the affairs of the heart. And it's those people who come into my coaching all the time that they truly are at the end of it, like at the end of their patience, at the end of their whatever, really just totally out of any hope, okay, because some stupid motherfucker pissed them off so much, okay, that they are truly desperate or truly upset and truly this and that. And my whole point here is that it's truly those people who need the most help. Why? Because they put this stupid motherfucker on a pedestal. And I really mean stupid motherfucker, because why would somebody treat a nice person like that? 99% of the people who come into my coaching are enormously nice people, genuinely kind. Most of them are empath. And it's not like, I have anger towards your SPs or anything like that. But some of the things that people do is truly bullshit. Now, the thing is here, two things. Why did you let that happen? And how can we correct your self-esteem and your beliefs that this never happens before? And you will find that if you do this work on yourself, It's not just the SP that will fix itself, that SP or someone better. It's the money, it's the career, it's everything. But it doesn't happen until people really get their butt kicked by such an experience that really like turns them into somebody they really are not. Somebody desperate, somebody crying, somebody this and that they start paying attention. Okay. And in most cases, it's everything. It's not just the SP. Oh, the SP is what drives them to come to my coaching, but it's everything. It's the finances, it's the work or no work. It's the health, it's the this and the that, but it all stems from the same problem. You, you. Okay? Somebody who's used to making a lot of money, let's just say this for an example, and I know I'm veering off, but it will tie in pretty beautifully here, is used to make a lot of money and knows how to make a lot of money. So maybe once in a while there's a dip of some kind. Maybe they were in a cranky mood and this and that. And that's usually when, kind of shit goes down. But they know how they did it in the first place. They know how they will do it again. Right? So it's not really about self-esteem, although it has an element to it. If everything else in your life is kind of all right, and the only area in your life you struggle with is money, I have good news for you, because it's an easy fix. It usually has to do with how you manifest money. And that, I will make a separate video about it, I promise, okay? It won't be as entertaining, which is why, I'm kind of like trying to figure out how I'm going to talk about it. But the fact is that if you struggle in relationships, everything else struggles. And I would rather help people who have just, need help the most. It's just like I said. All right. Same deal with health. If you're just struggling with health, but everything else is okay, it usually has to do with certain beliefs, again, but it's relatively, and I dare say, easy to fix, because it has to do with some kind of letting go of to do in your past, something that you haven't forgiven, la la la. Now, if you have special requests that I can talk about in those areas, by all means comment. I will do my best to address it. But other than that, I'd rather do an all-encompassing audio, which, if you listen to it closely, addresses all those areas. You can apply it to everything, is what I mean. All right? So going back to the subject, the power that you have over your SP is huge. Now, if you're one of those people, like I said, who comes into my coaching and is under the impression that the power has been taken away from them, right? So nothing's working, SP left, they chose somebody else, they got married to somebody else, maybe they even have children with somebody else, they treated you poorly, they lied, they cheated, they betrayed. Okay, so it seems to you in the situation, and it's understandable why you feel this way, that look at me, poor me, this happened to me, I don't know how this happened, I'm a nice person, I did nothing to cause it, I was going out of my way to please this person, la la la. On the surface, it makes sense what you say to me, but like I said, underneath it all, you gave away your power like a long time ago. A long time ago. Not only to this SP in particular, but just in general, overall in your life. Because like I said, usually it's just an overall picture looks like pretty much shit. Okay? If it's SP problems, it's problems all around. And so your feeling that you don't have the power over the situation is the problem. That you wave your hands up in the air and say, I don't know how this happened to me. Now, it has everything to do with you and how you created it. Okay, with your beliefs, with your emotions, with the kinds of experiences that you compared yourself to in the past. Okay, your experiences are just learning blocks. They're not really defining who you are, parenthesis here. But most people don't understand this premise and pick up beliefs based on what they experienced in the past, all the way from childhood, like I said. And so they base their self-worth and what they deserve and how they should be treated, all the way back from childhood, in the earliest memory of somebody like conveying to them, you don't matter, you're second choice, you're not good enough, and all this fucking stupid shit. Right? And so it has everything to do with you. It's not about blaming anybody, but it's being accountable. And so if you feel powerless, it's because you gave away your power, but a long time ago, mind you, and especially to this SP. Now, if you give away your power to somebody else, or another entity, like when people pray to the outside God, and expect an answer, okay, parenthesis here, please, if we're going to start talking truth here, I have to really say it. If you give away your power to the outside source, rather than claiming that this is your reality, claiming that you are the God of your reality, and nothing happens to you by chance, then the conversation turns productive. And then it stops being the situation of victimhood, of poor me and this and that. It starts becoming the conversation, like in my coaching, how did I create this? What did I do in my mind to create this? Or what is it in my mind that created this and I'm not aware of it? Because look, you can give away the power and you can assign it back to yourself. But the fact that you gave away the power means that you had the power all along. And so the most important thing that I ever want to teach anybody in my coaching and on my channel, or anybody for that matter, is you cannot give away your power and start complaining about your manifestations. It makes no fucking sense. Okay, so if you see your reality goes to shit, there's only one reason why. You claim to have no power. When you do, you have all the power in the fucking world. And only you has the power in your reality. And it's high time you take it back. Because your power is so huge that when you give it away, things go to shit. Now think how fucking magical that is, how absolutely astonishing. You yourself voluntarily, consciously or unconsciously, in an educated way or not, maybe knowingly or unknowingly, started assigning yourself no power. No power. Meanwhile, it's kind of like if you're a billionaire, right? Like a trillionaire, and you gave away all those billions and trillions of dollars to somebody else, and you have like $200 in your account, and now you're saying you're poor. Okay, well, it's your fortune over there. Go fucking get it already and stop blaming everything around you, yourself included, why things go to shit. Because the idea is this: you always have the power over anyone in your reality, over your finances and your health. Now, why you're doing that, that's another story. Why you're not taking back your power is another story. For most people, I just mentioned the outside God. It's uncomfortable. They've been religious for very long. They brought up like that. I was one of these people, but I didn't buy in fully into that shit. I make it work into my favor, okay? And I could explain it, but it's going to be too long. You need to get comfortable with your own power. You cannot start feeling guilty about, I can't, most people, that's what they struggle with. I can't possibly accept this power because it's selfish, because it's arrogant, or it's narcissistic, and all these bogus ideas that are absolutely obsolete and stupid, may I say. You have had the power all along, and those who understand it don't think it's arrogant, narcissistic, or selfish. It's actually the way the universe has designed for you to create shit in life so that you are happy. Nobody wants you to be miserable. Nobody wants you to be miserable. It's the choice that you decided one day, or maybe it was just instilled in you, that I am going to not choose to be powerful. And in the beginning, if you're one of these people who haven't been doing this for a long time, it's going to feel uncomfortable. Yes, of course. If you haven't been doing something for a while, let's just say you haven't been doing yoga or exercising or whatever, the next day your body is sore. It's uncomfortable. You're not used to this kind of situation. If somebody gives you $1 billion all of a sudden, when you're used to making $40,000 a year or 50,000 or whatever it is, $100,000 a year, you're going to flip the fuck out. But that's exactly what it is, assigning the power back to you. Most of you, it's like this. Most people who come into my coaching and most of my listeners, I can bet money on it and I will win. Most of you think that there is some kind of outside source of blockage, a third party, distance, inconvenience of some kind. Somebody's against you. La 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 la. Meanwhile, the whole shebang is happening in your mind, right? You're making these situations to be what they are. Yes, that's how powerful you are. I don't care if I don't care if your SP is married right now, ran off and got married to somebody else, left you, cheated on you, this and any other. All of those situations are fixable. But the thing is, the ironic thing is, right, is that you're the one who created them and you now are sitting in the situation and are complaining about it. That's the funny part for me. And you think that, well, since I've created it, parenthesis here, now it's impossible to uncreate it. This is basically, in my ears, that's what you're telling me. Whereas you don't understand that you created it yourself. And so all you need to do is examine how, reverse engineer it, and create something to your liking this time around. And like I said, it might be uncomfortable for some people because you're used to dysfunction. You're used to not getting what you want. You're used to getting shit treatment or not getting what you want and this and any other. That is not normal to expect that, okay? You have to get it into your mind that it's normal to succeed. It's normal to get like huge sums of money. It's normal to get your SP back. It's normal. And when you start expecting different things, when you stop making it so fucking difficult, then it becomes easy. If right now I sat down with you and said, hey, how much money do you want? And you said to me, I don't know, let's just say $100,000. Let's just be conservative. And I said, okay, so what are you making now? And your reply would be, I've never made that much money. I've never gotten that much money in my life. Okay, there's resistance there because you've never experienced that. And in your mind, it's difficult. Something extraordinary has to happen. But in my mind, for example, that shit is fucking easy, okay? That's the difference. So if you're making it easy, it's easy. It's easy as pie. You ask, you expect it, you get it. The in between putting together the idea and asking for it is where you have to fix your beliefs of expectancy, of making it easy. Everything is easy. SP is easy. It's not just SP is easy. SP is easy. Health is easy. Money is easy. Everything is easy. It's already bound to be yours. You're the only one who's standing in the way of you accepting all this jazz. Why? I don't know. You have your own story to tell, which is why I offer coaching. All right? If you make it difficult, it is difficult. But for you, for another person next door, it's like, or right next to you, it's like, could be easy. If you have doubts, you create obstacles. You yourself create these fucking obstacles. If you have fears about certain things, insecurities, you create delays or the very things you're afraid of, like third parties, like them getting married to somebody. You yourself create this theater of your life. Get used to this idea. It will become so much easier for you to think in terms of what do I want to create next. It will become revolutionary for you, quite frankly. And so in this moment, if you have worked on your beliefs and have processed all of the emotions associated with your past experiences, which is really important, by the way, I go over this in my coaching, you can command your SP, whatever the situation is at hand. Again, third party, marriage, la la la, la la la, la la la, betrayal, this and that. You can start creating a whole different new version of events, a whole different new version of this SP. If you want to. Some people don't. Some people get into my coaching, say, yeah, this guy and no guy. And then a month into it, they're like, maybe I don't think this guy anymore. Because you see, from the perspective of where you are now, you are maybe desperate, like I said, maybe like really depressed, maybe feeling really sad. And from that perspective, for you, it might be this guy and no other guy. But once you start working on yourself, your self-esteem rises, your beliefs start changing, you start seeing things differently, you start saying to yourself, yeah, maybe not. But the decision is entirely yours. There's nothing that is impossible in this universe. That SP who was ghosting you and blocking you and saying shitty things to you can now become the one that chases you. And you are like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I can't put down the phone, and you're buzzing my phone. I can't even get work done. Seriously, though, this has happened to me. What I'm saying to you is I'm not talking out of my behind. It has either happened to me or one of my clients. Okay, these are all the examples that I give on my channel or in my coaching. They could have not seen you for years. All of a sudden, they got it in their head, parenthesis here, you instructed them to propose to you. And the guy shows up at the door and starts proposing to you. And you're like, where the fuck did this come from? You created it because you changed your mind about what it is you want. Again, the idea is two things. The choice is yours. Give away your power or start practicing your power. And if you want to have power over your SP, there's nothing fucking easier. Not a goddamn thing is easier. Because thought transmission is your superpower. The video again is below. You can thought transmit to any person under the sun. By the way, just doesn't have to just be your SP or romantic or whatever. Anyone at all. To do something for you, be a certain way, say something to you. You can script it and materialize it in a very short period of time. Provided you actually believe that you can do that. Provided you've accepted your power. They could have been with that third party for years. Okay, and I mean years. They could have left you for them and they married and whatever and, stayed there for years. And you never stopped thinking about them for a reason. Because there's no one-way love. Sometimes these connections, there's no mistake in the universe, no secrets in the universe. If you keep thinking about a person, if you haven't let them go, like some people I don't fucking think about anymore. I've had boyfriends, I've had 2 husbands. I never fucking think about them because I don't care about them. But there's certain people, certain friendships, certain, acquaintances, certain people I work with. I can never stop thinking about them because we have this connection, this wonderful, je ne sais quoi, like it's quantum field interacting through us, basically we are connected and there's, it cannot be taken away with years or time or anything like that. We can even have an argument and it won't be no big deal. And so if you keep thinking about somebody, you have this connection with them, it's strong, it's powerful, you haven't let them go in your mind for years, and neither have them let you go. Okay, and it could have been years, like I said, could have been years and years, and all of a sudden you change your pretty mind and you start saying, you know what, I really wish we had a second chance together, because I thought this was the love of my life. I thought this was something that I really wanted to have for the rest of my life. I really wanted to grow old with this person. And we had our differences and a lot of shit had happened, but nothing that I feel like we can overcome. In that minute that you make that decision, that person, your counterpart, gets the same idea. I mean, verbatim. Let me explain something to you. Thought transmission, and when you think about somebody, you're thinking of them in a certain way, and you think certain words, even certain thoughts, they receive this. It's like a transcript, okay? Like it's printed out to them. Here's your script. Better yet, it gets like basically downloaded into their mind, and they start thinking in that way, thinking for themselves that it is their thoughts. Those are their thoughts. They don't know perhaps what manifestation is, and maybe even if they do, sometimes, look, even sometimes I sit, like yesterday I had this download from, I mean, that's another area that I explore also in my coaching. You can read people's minds. It's the same basically concept, but I needed clarification on something in business, on a couple of people, and I asked for it. You always ask for clarification. And then I got it. I read the minds of those people that they wouldn't tell me, but I now have it. I have it. Like, with certitude, I can say that now I figured the puzzle out. It's the same concept where there are no secrets. Person can be thinking something and you pick up on their thoughts. Me, I do it intentionally, but other person could probably not know, like I said, what manifestation is. Nevertheless, they will get the thoughts, and they will think that, oh yeah, I'm thinking this, and for whatever reason, she's popped into my mind, or he's popped into my mind, and look at me. What am I doing with my life? I should be with them. I should go and apologize and do all these things. It's just like that. You can literally, I give this example all the time because it's so true. You don't have to chase anybody. It's stupid to chase anybody because things should come to you. SP should come to you. Money should come to you. Your healing should come to you. You shouldn't beg for something. You shouldn't work hard at it. You shouldn't, you know what I mean? You should not do these things because when you chase things, run away. If you're on a high altitude of vibration and high altitude of beliefs and self-concept, as people like to say, self-esteem, I like to call it, self-love, then you are so powerful. You have the power now, and you're exercising the power to such a degree where you can just literally sit in your armchair or lay down in bed before sleep, or wherever you are, basically. Meaning you don't have to physically maneuver anything, okay? And direct this person or these people, maybe somebody who you work with or whatever, or direct the sum of money to come to you. Now, most people don't think in these terms, and they think that, well, it's not enough that I ask, I have to go do something. And some people really confuse it with inspired action. Inspired action is this, ready? I've asked for something. I don't really particularly have to do anything. If it feels good to me, if I get like an email and I'm inspired to answer it, if I feel like going for a walk and I happen to run into somebody, if I don't know, if I feel like going shopping, and that's what inspires me, and in that process an idea comes to me that inspires me to such a degree where I cannot talk it down, I need to take action on it. That's what inspired action is. But going and maneuvering somebody and thinking that you in the 3D are going to solve it is bullshit. The 5D, the imagination world, okay, everything comes from imagination. Everything comes from the matrix, the quantum field, operates on a high altitude. You thinking that you can make shit happen by force is a very low level of thinking. And so you can, like I said, sit in an armchair, lay in bed, or whatever it is you're doing, or even like maybe you're doing something, like maybe you like gardening or whatever, something that inspires you. And in that process, you can just talk yourself into knowing that what you want is happening. I'll give you an example. If you want your SP to start bombarding your phone, start, sending you endless text messages, start apologizing, even though lots of time has gone by and you haven't heard from them all this time, you just quietly assume that it's more than an assumption. It's kind of like, oh, look, they're bombarding my phone. And you see nothing like that happening on the outside. But on the inside, you get together with the godliness of you and you say, in fact, I'm instructing you that this is what is going to happen next. All this time before, you were instructing some other shit. Forget that shit. Now you're doing new shit. And so all of a sudden, in this moment, you can decide, oh, look, they're bombarding my phone. And don't you know this is exactly what will happen? I don't believe in these fucking techniques that people talk about endlessly on it's such a waste of fucking time. Seriously though, you just need to decide. You just need to decide, oh look, they're bombarding my phone. Or wouldn't it be funny if all of a sudden they started bombarding my phone? You can visualize, there is that, but it's a decision, and it's a feeling of like amusement. Like, how funny would it be if all of a sudden this person got into their head that now they're bombarding my phone? It's almost like being a puppeteer. I don't know why I said almost. It's being a puppeteer in the show of you. This is your show. This is creating your reality. So if you want to have huge power of your SP, guess what? You already have it. You just need to start instructing them differently. You want them to blow up your phone? You got it. You want them to propose to you? You got it. Stop making shit so difficult. Take them off the pedestal and get on that fucking pedestal and never descend. Okay, you're the one in control. You're the king or the queen of your reality. Take back the reins into your hands and never let go, will ya? And can I insert something here really quick? When you're not desperate anymore, when you are on the pedestal instead of them, when you realize your power, when you take care of yourself, when you, start a new job, invest in a new opportunity, business, and this and that, become a new individual with a new self-esteem and values and beliefs, you know what? It changes the whole thing. It just changes everything. All the energy is with you. You become so magnetic, and you feel like you almost do not care about this person, in the sense that it's a, how can I explain? If you were desperate before and now you're kind of like whatever, it might seem like you don't care. You might still care, but it's not the desperation you feel. So to you, it might feel like you don't care. But what happened actually is that now you care about yourself more, in not a narcissistic way, but in a very wholesome, loving way, in a very self-respectful way. You've invested in yourself in every area of your life, and now you're a different person. And now nobody's more important than you, and now you're in a position to control your reality. And when that happens, they come running, they come doing things that you've wanted them to do for such a long time. But they could not have been this way when you were desperate, when you were crying, when you were chasing. You were in a different reality. You were a completely different person. You were not commanding your reality. And you got exactly what you were instructing everybody to do. Now could be a different situation, and only you can create the situation by working on yourself. If you need coaching, all the information from me is below. The best idea is to pre-book as soon as you can. I have about 25 clients at a time. People go, people sign up. So the best idea is for you to book as soon as you can, and for me to let you know. There might be a slight wait, maybe like a week or 10 days or something, but the sooner the better. And then we start maybe with a phone call if you want to book that first. But I would advise you, if you need coaching, book right away. All right, all the information for me is below. Until next time, ciao, ciao.